post harvest because I'm not going to have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Hello! Welcome back to Exotic Wine Travel. I am your host, Matthew Horkey.
Hello, I'm Shirin Tan.
Well, we're just back from a crazy trip in Slovakia.
Crazy, absolutely.
Why was it crazy? What do you think?
Well, the schedule was really tight, but on top of that, it was really exciting as well because we were new to the country and we had new discoveries every day.
You know, we 12 days to over 250 wines. Sunrise to sunset and beyond every day, moving places every day. Pretty crazy.
Every day we were sleeping at different places.
So we want to thank, first of all, Tibor Vitek from Vinco.sk for setting up our visits with all the producers, setting up accommodation, all that kind of stuff. He spent a few days with us, which was wonderful as well, right?
Yeah, and we also had a lot of insights from him as well, from the conversations with him.
Yeah, so let's get into some of the wines today. You know, we did a couple other videos. If you have to look in past videos, did some other videos on some of the sweet wines of Slovakia, which I was very impressed with. Some of the minimal intervention wines as well. But today I'm going to talk more about the more classic, more conventional, style wines. Oh, I gotta put that receipt out. It was in the camera. More conventional, classic style wines, and we have a little bit of a selection today. So, let's go. Let's talk about some of the wines, some of these producers here. Okay, first of all, very good producer from the Malokarpatska area. Let me see. Yeah, in basically Little Carpathian era, north of Slovakia. This is Juraj Zapražny. Let's see if I can. This is his Pinot Noir Barrique from 2015. This is one of his premium wines. You can see the nice Z display. Let me see if I got that right here. Hold on a second. There we go. I hope you can see that. I was impressed with his entire portfolio. What do you think about his wine?
Very consistent, clean, aromatic, very expressive in the mouth, and his wines are basically wines that I would consider a safe choice to bring to people who are winemakers from other countries. It just tastes really correct and expressive.
Super well made. Super well. And his Cabernet Sauvignon Rosé 2017 was outstanding.
Yeah.
Tibor Vitek told us that he thinks that Slovakia actually has potential to make world-class rosé, especially Cabernet Sauvignon rosé. Mr. Juraj, I liked everything. He even made a nice red. He gets some of his grapes from southern Slovakia, but he also makes most of his whites from around his area. Yeah. Good wines, right?
Yeah, I was really amazed by the tannins, very well integrated tannins in his red wines.
Let's talk about some of the other producers here. I talked about this sweet vine. This is Karpatská Perla, basically the Carpathian Pearl. I showed this in a different sweet wine episode. This is Aurelius de la Mode straw wine. This is a producer that's one of the bigger producers in the area. Makes a huge, wide range of wines, all well made. I found the dry, still wines they're all good, well made. Didn't excite me as much, but the dessert wines really, really excited me from this producer.
I agree with you. The dry wines taste like the yield could be too high or something. You're just not getting a ton of fruit flavors and phenolics. But the sweet wines were incredible, extremely value for money.
Yeah, and you know what? They were bad. They were all solid wines. That's one thing I was impressed with Slovakia. All the bigger producers, all the wines were of good quality.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
We also have another, probably the biggest producer, Châteay Topol'čianky. This is their ice wine, Riesling Vlašský from 2015. Another producer, 2016. I thought their ice wines were unbelievable at €11.50. They produced like a wide range of wines, inexpensive sparklings. I thought their Frankovka dry was good. They produce wines for supermarket retail level. I was impressed with the quality they were bringing, especially at a couple euros a bottle, right?
Yep.
And the wines were some of the wines were super exciting for me. Sweet wines were good, and I thought they delivered a heck of a lot of value for money.
I mean, there's a space to fill for the market, and they are filling it very well in terms of delivering low price, good quality wine.
Okay. We also have this other producer, Château Belá, that's owned by Igen Müller, the famous German producer. This is the Alibernet ice wine. from 2012, rather. They made some really exciting sweet wines, especially the German style TBA, BA Rieslings. The dry wines were all well made.
I think that it's because it's a good reflection of each vintage.
Yeah.
And some vintages are not as good as the other. And I mean, it's more difficult in the vineyard and it shows in the wines. But you could tell that, again, it's very high quality, world-class winemaking skill.
Yeah, it was high, and everything, I'm just being nitpicky, Château Belá, everything was of pretty high quality. Some super exciting wines, including the Pinot Gris, which I love, the dry Pinot Gris. You like the Cabernet a lot, too, the 2011 that we opened as well. So let's move on to probably the best red wine we had in Slovakia. Do you think so?
One of the best, yeah.
This is the Matyšak, one of the big players, but this is their premium wine. This is the Cabernet Franc 2011 limited edition. This is from vineyards in South Slovakia. We also had their Sylvaner limited edition, which was stellar as well. What do you think about the premium wines from Matyšak?
Very well balanced, good acid and fruit balance, very integrated tannins for this, and it took about 12 hours for it to fully open up, but it really lashes in the mouth as well. After that, nice aroma reflective of Cabernet Franc.
I was impressed. Yeah, I agree. And I was impressed with their whole portfolio. They had a sparkling, a Brut Nature, some Sylvaner, a straw wine we tasted for a grape that's so neutral. The grape was full of flavor, right?
Very right.
Anything else you want to say about Matyšak, or?
Well, they have a great restaurant.
Yeah. Shireen said, I want to come back to Bratislava to eat at Matyšak every day.
Yeah. It's incredible that the food at Matyšak restaurant, you see that every single ingredient contributes to the final product. You know, sometimes I get annoyed with fine dining, right? Because you have all these ingredients, spices, and herbs, but they don't really contribute to the flavor. It's more of like just a condiment and display. So I really like Matyšak restaurant a lot.
Yeah, I think when we told Tibor we want to come back to eat there every single day, he looked at us, he said, might not be a bad idea.
Plus, the wines are excellent.
A couple other producers, we don't have bottles here that I was impressed with. Frtus, we stayed one evening with him. He's near the town of Levice, sorry. He's put a lot of work into the winery, restoring his family's vineyards. He's already making good wine, but I think because of his dedication, he will be very good in the near future, right? What do you think?
I think it was good wine, but I think maybe he needs a little bit more time to fine tune and find like kind of like his house style.
Yeah.
But he's already putting out some excellent wines.
I was a fan of his Milia, his sweet wine. Again, sweet wine, you see, common theme. I thought was impressed with sweet wines. I thought it was high level. One producer we were very impressed with as well, Žitovske Vinice. We didn't get to visit him. He was not feeling well when we were in the area. The Bluff Frankish was excellent, right? I thought it was a really, really good wine. We tasted his Pinot Gris as well. And then a co-op, PD Mojmirovce. What did you? We're big fans of co-ops. What did you think of Mir?
Well, when I first saw the label and looking at the wine portfolio, I wasn't ready to like it. I mean, it wasn't a bad impression. It was just a neutral impression. But when I started tasting the wine, it was really interesting. I felt like the acidity level and the sugar level were all right at the very brim, and it had this perfect balance. If I remember correctly, some of the white wines had like 6 grams of residual sugar with like 7 or 8 grams of acidity. So, you know, it's a really tight tension in the mouth, and those were pretty, I think it's the middle range bottling. And it was really, really good.
Those wines were great for 3 8-year-old. He had the wonderful red wine, Bluff Frankish Cabernet Sauvignon à la Barrique for €7. We were stuck that night tasting till 10:30. Tasted 15, 16 wines, and we couldn't have dinner that night because the restaurant was closed.
Yeah, but it was a good choice because we wanted to skip dinner first to concentrate on the wines, and the wines turned out good.
And we were staying in a castle, which was pretty darn cool, right? Another producer, one of the last producers I was impressed with, we didn't get to visit, but we tasted a lot of their wines at the Viticulture Museum, was, for me, Gogus. It was a producer in the Little Burgundy of Slovakia, a place that's renowned for Pinot Noir, Pinot Blanc, and Chardonnay. We had an off-dry sorry, not off-dry, a late harvest Pinot Noir from them. Do you remember that?
I remember that very clearly because I was kind of baffled by it, but in a good way. You know, when a wine has these interesting notes that capture your attention, I think it's a positive thing. So I was wondering for a long time, and I thought it had a little bit of botrytis note, but yet it was dry, and then it had this really complex, like honey wax flavor on the end palate. That's the reason why I liked it.
Wines are low cost too. I mean, in general, what do you think about the classical style, the conventional wines in Slovakia, the roundup?
Based on what we experienced, I would say it's above average standard.
Yeah, I was actually impressed. We spent a lot of time in the Eastern Bloc, ex-communist states, ex-Yugoslavia. So a lot of times with these the producers, the big producers, even that are creating mass market wines, the quality can be not as good. But all the wines were clean, well made.
Yeah.
I think they took a lot of the Austrian influence. Wouldn't you say they're precise?
I mean, let's just put it this way. Just go to any of the wineries here and I pick a wine from them. I wouldn't be afraid to show it to someone and explain the context. And I think everyone should be impressed by what they've achieved so far.
Yeah, so it's definitely a country we're going to keep our eye on. There's only about, based on statistics, probably 10,000 hectares of vineyards. I heard about 400, 500 producers. We hope to make it back in the near future. Check out the article in the description box. Guys, if you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Exotic Wine Travel.
I will see you at the next